Hi, everybody. This is Melinda Chan, founder of Women Making Big Sales. Yesterday, I was speaking with a female entrepreneur. She had years of experience in corporate world, and we were talking about her experience in corporations. She's got a great title and lots of experience over there. And now she was ready. She's ready to step out of her corporate life and create something of her own. So we were talking about different ways that she might be able to accomplish that. Then she asked me, "Do you think that I'm ready to sell to big companies?" And when I heard that question, in my mind, I'm like, of course, with so much information, with your knowledge and with your background and network, of course you're ready. But I just realized that, hey, it's probably a question that is not natural for everybody. And that's why I decided to sit down here and have a talk with you guys and to share with you what I thought of, what makes you ready to sell to a big company. The past year, I've spent lots of time speaking with hundreds of female entrepreneurs, and we discussed different businesses and where they are and the possibility of selling to big companies. And I have to say, that is true. Not everybody's necessarily ready to sell to big companies. So today, I want to share with you the common profiles of female entrepreneurs who can really make huge impact when it comes to selling to big companies. And hopefully you'll be able to take that and figure, analyze or evaluate your business and to see if that this might be something that would be beneficial to you. And talk about what we're about to talk about might not suit you, but you still want to sell to big companies. Take these characteristics and start building your business profiles, and to make sure that 6 months down the road you're ready to sell to big. Hi, I think we're having a little bit of a connection problem, and hopefully it'll get better shortly. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep going and see how it goes. I might have to redo this video if the connection is not good, but we'll see. So so why? Let's first of all, before we talk about the characteristics and whether you're ready to sell to big companies, I just want to highlight the difference between selling to big companies versus selling to regular clients or more low cost, low profile clients, so that you really see the difference. So usually when it comes to selling to companies, first of all, it usually involves more than one decision makers. So when you're trying to, maybe connect with somebody, a VP of a company, and you're excited that you finally get a meeting with a person, most likely this whole decision-making process would involve other people. So you have to keep that in mind that, when you're trying to sell to a company, you're basically selling to a few other people at the same time, and you need to understand the difference. And that's a really big difference compared to selling to individuals, because a lot of times when you sell to individuals, you're looking for snap solutions. They have to, and you're really selling to that one person. But when you're selling to companies, since it involves several people, it requires a little bit more problem solving skills. So, there's a lot of process of trying to solve problems, a common problem that this company is having. The second thing about selling to big companies is that you're more likely to develop long-term relationships. So most companies, they're looking for service providers or people they work with for a long-term period because they're very risk averse. For them, hiring a new person or switching their suppliers means that there's tons of potential problems. And since it's a big company, the problems we're talking about could be drastic. So if you're able to work with big company, one or two companies, most likely you will be able to develop long-term relationship with them. So, some of the big companies I've worked with them for the past 10 years. I think once probably even longer. Yeah. So you're more likely to develop long-term relationship with. Small clients sometimes, not all, but sometimes it's more transactional business. So that means that when you finish a contract with this person for 6 months, you need to go find another company, and that's another client. But big companies different. The referrals you get with big companies is a little bit different from small companies as well. Since you work with big companies and The people you work with, there tend to be some turnovers. It's just natural in any business. No matter where you go, people move on to the other companies and people go to different places. So the more you stay in that industry and work with big companies, the more likely you're going to get referrals to another big companies. And I mean, assuming that you're doing a good job and people like you. But with small clients, if they don't like you, most likely they will refer you to other clients. But more likely you might get smaller clients or the clients of similar background. So I am excited. For people who know me, you know that I really believe in the potential in working with big companies, because that's really one of really good ways to take your business dramatically to the next level in a relatively cost-effective way. Because sales, I always tell people, sales is not like marketing. Sales is not like advertising. Sales, as long as you acquire the knowledge of how to sell and how to get in front of decision makers, how to have the conversation, it is a skill that does not require you to keep paying for the next sale. It's your skill. It's a skill you have, and you don't need to pay any money. You don't need to pay extra money to learn that or to get better at it. So I think it's a really great way. And so let's talk about whether you would be ready to sell to big companies. The first thing that's really important to sell into big company is that you need to have a specialized skills. So most importantly, it helps if you've been in a corporate world, or if you worked in a corporations for a period of time. Because that means that you've demonstrated the value, the value of your service within a company setting. So I mean, this might sound, basically what I'm trying to say is that you have to master your skill, your specialty, and in a way it's a given. If you want to sell to people, I still believe in it. I've been in sales for 16 years, and I believe at the end you have to provide real value. It's not about talking. It's not about, how to push for sales or how to get in front of people and trick people into buying you. You still need to provide that value. So I still want you to look at your business objectively and say, hey, am I providing certain value? It doesn't have to be big. And that's the important thing. You don't need to have like this huge, for example, if you're in marketing, you don't need to say that, hey, I know everything in marketing, or, you want to take on that job as VP of marketing. You could be very specialized or very focused, as long as you're good at one certain thing that you're good at doing, and that's enough. And that's enough to make that impact. But you need to make sure you're good at it. So the second thing is, if you want to know whether you're ready to sell to big companies, you need to be able to see your service in a business setting. So, I know we have a lot of amazing women out there, and it's about, they like to talk about their benefits and really about soul and about helping women changing their lives. But if you want to sell to business, it tends to be a little bit more rational. So if you're the kind of woman who's a little bit more analytical and who can see your service and the benefits to your service in a business setting, then I said, go for it. This is perfect. You should go for it. But if you feel a little bit uncomfortable talking business or talking numbers or talking about the corporate lives, maybe this might not be the best way, or it might not come as natural to you. So that's the second thing that you might want to consider. Do I feel comfortable talking numbers? Do I feel comfortable talking about how I fit into this whole business world? Because the company, hello, Cherie, hi. I would love to see how what you think about this and whether you're ready to go after more big clients. So if you're analytical, I say go for it. Look at your service. I don't care what you do, but look at it into this big business setting, because your corporate client is going to be a little bit more analytical and rational than an individual client. So they're going to look at your service as how to fit into this whole business puzzle. So if you're ready to do that, then go for it. The third thing about selling to big companies is that it's really about relationship building. Yeah, there are a lot of software out there. I constantly get approached by different CRM systems or content or lead generation companies about selling me leads, or how I can better manage my clients or better get in front of my clients in an easier way. but it's about you building that relationship. Because big companies, I've sold around the world in different industries. So it's whenever you start to target an industry, it becomes insider's world. That means that you'll be selling to a small number of people. That means that relationship building becomes extremely, extremely important. You need to be able to find out who the super connectors are, the important advisors within that industry, and the important people that you need to talk to and have real conversations. As of now, I have not found any software that can do these amazing things. And that's why salespeople are still paid big bucks, because a lot of the skills still cannot be replaced by softwares or by automations. I wish it could, but right now it's not working. So you have to tell yourself, do I feel comfortable, building a relationship? Because if you still feel really uncomfortable speaking to people and trying to generate interesting conversation or provide solutions, I would tell you that this would be tough for you, because business, especially when you're selling to businesses, it's a lot about generating the conversation, how to put your service into those business worlds. So those are really three very, very big things that I think you should really consider. One is your service. Is it specialized? Are you really providing a real value? I hope it's given. Most of the time, most of the women I speak with, we come with different background, but there are a lot of talented women out here. So I think this is great. It's pretty much a given. But the second thing is, are you able to talk or see your service within a business setting and really talk numbers? If you feel comfortable, if you're analytical and you feel like, hey, I've got this corporate vibe within me, then, or if you've been in a corporation for years, then I say, wonderful, great. That means you're ready. You're ready to go do some, talk some big sales, right? And the third thing that I want you to say is that, are you ready to build relationship and meaningful relationship? Because this is going to be extremely, extremely important. It's all about relationship. People got to want you. You have to have that communication skills. So these are the three things that I want you to think about. You might notice that I did not highlight, do you have a huge network, or do you know how to say, how to push for sales? Because having big network or how to push for the sales, I don't think these are the essential skills. If you don't have existing network, or if you don't know important people, you can build it. Every time I go into an industry, I never got a good, I didn't have a good, important network, and I always had to build from scratch. And it actually doesn't take that long to build your network. But if you don't have the skill to communicate well in a business sense, or really love talking to people, then it'll be a little bit harder. And if you still want to sell to big clients, I welcome you and encourage you to build your communication skills and, read a little bit about, businesses and, understand better of this corporate world, or connect with me. I'd be very happy to show you some resources or books that you could read. But if you are somebody who's familiar in the corporate world, you've got a service to sell and you're comfortable connecting with people and building relationship, I think you're great. I think you should go for it, because it's another way to really transform your business. And once you're in. Once you're part of the insider, this could take your business and build a great empire for the next 5-10 years. So I really welcome you to think about it. And if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me. For people who know me, like Cherie, I love talking to female entrepreneurs, because I think it's time. I really think time it's for women, for us to go out and compete with the big guys and be who we are. And I've done that the past 16 years, and I want to see more women around it. I want to work with more women and see more women selling to big companies. That's it. And connect with me offline. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.